right, Maga. Get out there. Where are you at? You got your jobs back. You got your jobs that were taken from you. Get out there. Get out there and start working. Get to work. America first. Get out there. 100% haven't shown up to work due to immigration raids, Texas farmer says. America's migrant workers are terrified to work, but unable to stay home. So get out there, MAGA. You got these jobs back. You took them back. You voted. You got your guy in there to get rid of all of those migrant workers. So get out there. Get out there and start working. But for real, I want to shout out to the undocumented migrant workers as they were deemed essential in 2020. They stepped up when this nation needed them most. They have my utmost respect. They should see a pathway to citizenship. Period. Period. They were deemed essential workers, risking their lives in one of the most hazardous jobs in the entire U.S. labor market. They have my full respect. Thank you for your service and your contribution to this country.
Well, thanks to the big orange gremlin looking motherfucker, multiple farms in Texas just shut down overnight. Why? Because ICE raids made nearly 100% of the workforce completely vanish. People ran, got detained, or flat out.
Dozens of Texas farms shut down overnight. Why? Because 100% of the workforce has vanished. It's not a mystery. They haven't gone missing. They've left. Because of immigration raids and policies that treat the people that grow our food, even the ones with work permits, like criminals. No workers means no harvest. Do you think food's expensive now? Just wait. And this isn't just a Texas issue. It's your dinner table, your kids' school lunch, your grocery bill, your local farmer's market. You want America first? Well, guess what? America just ran out of farm workers. And it turns out crops don't pick themselves. We've arrested, detained, or deported the workforce. And now we don't have enough food. There aren't enough people to take care of the livestock either. Guess what? Cows don't feed themselves. Chickens can't clean their own pens. And then they get sick and they die. And there goes your milk, your eggs, and your cheeseburger. This is what happens when we let people write policy who haven't worked a day in their life, especially on a farm, but they never miss a steak dinner. We need migrant workers. We need labor protections for the migrant workers. If the workforce continues to disappear, so will all the food on your plates.
Farms in deep red Texas are shut down, and Donald Trump is the reason. Now, as you know, Donald Trump has shifted ICE from focusing on criminal immigrants to going after easier targets such as job sites to pump his numbers up. But farms are hurting because of this, as many of their workers are either being deported or not showing up for fear of being caught up in these raids. And because of this, they're essentially shut down and no work can be done. Just take a listen to one farmer.
3 weeks, it started to slow, but this last week or so has been huge. That's when it's like zero people wanting to come out and
yeah, zero people going to work the farms. And while yes, these farmers are in the find out phase, we're all going to be in it, because they're talking that our food supply is going to be shut down or have major interruptions. And it's not just Texas, it's California and Washington. We are finding out that yes, immigrants do help the American economy. Immigrants are part of the American fabric. We just didn't realize it.
Hello fam, how are you doing? I hope you're doing amazing. Thank you so much for your love, your support. I do appreciate. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for the love and support. I don't take it for granted. And if you're watching me for the first time, I'm Carol. Please be part of us by subscribing, turn on notifications, so anytime I upload a new video, you will always be notified. So in today's video, we are going to react to these Texas farmers who are now complaining that they really don't have farmers on their farms. They don't have workers on their farms. So what do you think? Let's hear of different people with the different opinions, then come back with more comments. Kindly let me know what you think about this video in the comment section, and let's have a conversation. And also don't forget to share with a friend, a family member. Let's get to know this together.
It's Joe from Georgia. So this is news out of Texas. But folks, these are alarm bells ringing for the entire United States. And our government is not listening. Overnight, multiple farms in the state of Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because they have lost almost 100% of their workforce. Now, we know this is the result of the immigration raids and stricter enforcement, but the ripple effect is going to be felt all the way across this country. Now, you've got crops that are rotting in the fields. You have livestock that is not being attended to at all, and that takes a lot of personnel. And we're talking, so now we're getting every area of food to include meat. And the communities that surround these farms, those businesses and those people who depend on the income from these farms, it's creating disasters for small communities in Texas. Now, this is not stopping at Texas farms. This is going to end up all the way across America, especially in the breadbasket, the middle of the nation, because they have tons of immigrant help. But folks, the alarm bells are ringing. Your food on your plate is being affected. So you got to think about it. It won't be soon until either prices go ridiculously high or you just won't have any food to buy.
You mean to tell me the farms in Texas are closing? Because they voted for their own staffs to be deported?
I want to be the best in the game.
News out of Texas, and if this is happening in Texas, this is happening elsewhere. I'll put the link to the article in the description. Multiple farms are shutting down due to lack of workers because the entire workforce has basically fled and is in hiding and not showing up for work. Crops are being left to die in the Texas heat. Livestock is being untended to, unwatered, and unfed. There's just no one to do the work. So this is going to lead to potential food shortages because I'm sure this is happening across the country. Most farm workers are questionably documented. No one else is willing to do the work. This is going to lead to shortages, and inflation is going to go back up as we're going to have to import food from outside.
And there's reports now that some farmers have 100% of their workers not showing up and they're being forced to shut down. In South Texas, they grow grapefruit, they grow oranges, lots of different citrus varieties, leafy greens, onions, potatoes, peppers. So not only are the prices of what we can get going to go up at the grocery store, but also there's going to be massive food waste if there's nobody picking these crops when they're ready to be picked. I hope Maga likes a diet of strictly processed foods.
Well, thanks to the big orange gremlin looking motherfucker, multiple farms in Texas just shut down overnight. Why? Because ICE raids made nearly 100% of the workforce completely vanish. People ran, got detained, or flat out got scared to death and never came back. Dairy farms are in panic mode right now. Cows gotta be milked every 8 hours. And guess what? Nobody's showing up to milk these fuckers, folks. This isn't some Texas problem either. This is happening across the entire nation. ICE isn't just out here enforcing some bullshit laws. They are actively crippling our food systems with fear and chaos. You want to talk about consequences? This ain't just about politics anymore, y'all. It's about what's on your table, what's in your fridge, or what's about to be missing from your fucking store. These Nimrods aren't saving America. They're starving.
Hello, Americans who like to eat. I'm Linda, and I want to talk about empty grocery shelves. They are coming. and sooner than we think. There's a 3,000 per day immigrant detention quota. 40% of farm workers in the United States are undocumented. You do the math. Farms are an excellent place to find undocumented immigrants to detain and deport, depleting the workforce. And now, those who haven't been rounded up are afraid to show up. Let's look at just one state, Texas. According to farmers, this issue has been affecting their farms for a couple of weeks, but overnight, it bottomed out. On several Texas farms, nearly 100% of farm workers aren't showing up. So what does that mean for you? Remember Trump's comment about having 2 dolls instead of 30? Cows are milked 3 times a day. No workers, no milk, and some very unhappy cows. What if your grocery store, instead of getting 30 gallons of milk, gets 2? 28 families will not be able to buy milk. Now extrapolate that among produce. Produce that instead of being harvested is rotting on the vine. Texas is one of the top 10 producers of 40 major commodities. It is the 4th largest agriculture producer in the nation and 2nd in animal products. And it's not just cows not being milked and produce rotting on the vine. 1 in 7 Texans works in an agriculture-related job. If farms stop working, those jobs are affected. Workers not earning money aren't paying taxes. And yes, undocumented workers pay taxes. Without money coming in, they will cut back on things like restaurants and small businesses, movie theaters, wherever they spend their discretionary income. Last week, Trump ordered a halt to immigration enforcement at farms. But it may already be too late to solve the current problem. The lack of workers now mean farms won't hit full production this year. And if they lose planting now, there is nothing to harvest later. Yet despite Trump's assurances, a few days after his statement, the administration resumed the raids. Vance says the administration plans to continue clearing the country of undocumented immigrants. Quote, "We're enforcing everywhere. In other words, you ought to voluntarily go back and come through the proper channels," unquote. That can literally take years. And frankly, it doesn't protect you from being deported. In the meantime, the question remains, how long are you willing to go without food? Bye, Americans. Have a nice day.
Fields, whole crews are ghosting fields, leaving fruits and vegetables to rot because the Donald Trump administration is too busy playing cat and mouse with people who just want to feed America. To the Maga people who are saying that immigrants are taking your job, this right here is your opportunity. Pick yourselves up by the bootstraps, get those buckets, and pick those strawberries. No more hiding behind those welfare checks that are padded behind blue state dollars. You wanted the raids, you got them. Now get in those fields and pick those fruits and vegetables before you watch the produce aisle turn to a luxury boutique section. Chop chop, MAGA, and that's it.
That farms are losing their staff. Some areas have lost half their works overnight. That's halts milk operations and also means the herds isn't being tended to. But it's not 100% of staff because less than 30% are immigrants in the first place. So we need to clarify 2 points. First of all, it is an issue because farms require a lot of manual labour. And even if you're losing 10% of the staff, that's going to be a bigger impact, but it's not 100%. Now, the reason it's a problem right now is this harvest is going on right now. So it's the winter wheat harvest, so it's planted at winter, gets harvested now, and around 50% of wheat would be harvested right now. And it's a critical phase. That's not going to happen if the staff aren't there. You then got a lot of fruit being harvested right now, cantaloupes, watermelons, peaches, plums, blackberries. They're all being harvested right now in either central or northern Texas. And these delays could either cause a loss of the crop or a reduced quality and therefore reduced revenue for the farmers. So it's actually quite a big issue. There's also secondary effects. The hay and silage is having troubles being harvested. That means there's going to be a long tail impact because the lack of hay now is going to impact the feed supplies later on. You've also got problems with logistics, so haulage, delivery, and then food processing plants. So think about abattoirs, etc. If the immigrant workers don't turn up for that either, you're not going to be able to get the food processed even once it is going from the farm to the factory. So this is quite a big issue. Not 100% of staff, but it is a significant percentage of staff which is going to impact food supplies.
We're here. We are here at the FAFO stage. This is really bad. And if you appreciate my content, please engage with this video. I'm just going to read this to you. Multiple Texas farms shut down after almost 100% of workforce vanishes overnight. In a stunningly swift overnight change, some Texas farm operations had to shut down after losing virtually all of their workforce, an exodus triggered by the increase in immigration raids and increased enforcement. The ripple effects of these raids are the gift that keeps on giving and will be felt nationwide. Unpicked crops are now left unharvested. Livestock were left untended, and rural economies are on edge. The story isn't just a tale of woe for Texas farms, it's a warning for American agribusiness, food prices, and communities that keep food on our plates. I need you to share this with every Republican you know. And you don't even need to wait for their response. They just need to know what's happening. And this is part of my line of work. I deal with commercial farmers, including these small farmers, as clients. And I cannot tell you how this is the beginning of the complete collapse of our economy under this Project 2025 administration that doesn't know what they're doing. You talk about the immediate shuttering of farms, because this is actually what's happening. With the food, with the harvests that are lying there completely rotting. That is a loss of food to local food distributors, local grocery stores, local restaurants, hospitals. They sell their harvests, all sorts of vegetables, to businesses within the state of Texas. This is where you can go into your local grocery store, and now you're going to see hardly any vegetables or fruit, depending on what they're growing, or a shortage of meat. This is what's going to happen. Now, all of the other industries that support farming, you've got local pesticide, herbicide, fertilizer suppliers that are just, their sales are going to plummet. These farmers aren't going to be purchasing that. You've got H-2A workers who are now gone, migrant workers who are now gone. They were paying taxes. Even if they didn't have social security numbers, they were given tax numbers, tax ID numbers. So now you got millions of dollars just poof, gone overnight from these Texas communities. You've got trucking companies that are hired to haul the produce from the farms to the packaging plants. You've got packaging plants who wash the vegetables, grade the vegetables, pack the vegetables, whose sales are going to plummet. Now you're going to have other industries who don't employ either migrant workers or H-2A workers who are going to have layoffs. This is all under Republican leadership, not just from the White House, but from the Republicans that were elected in the state of Texas. And if you think this is going to stop at Texas, you've got another thing coming. And you want to know which farms are going to be impacted further down the road? They're going to be safe for now. There's a small percentage of farmers who are actually Democrats. And they understand how important it is to protect their employees, take care of their employees. Those employees who feel safe will keep showing up for work because they know the owners have their
reports coming out right now about farms in Texas losing nearly 100% of their staff due to immigrant workers not turning up because of fear of the ICE raids. So let's talk about that. Texas farms generate around $32 billion a year in revenue for the state, huge, valuable. And there's around 100,000, and there's hundreds of thousands of farm workers in Texas. And around 20-30% of those are foreign born, and around 17% of those are undocumented. So there's a lot of immigrants and a substantial number of undocumented immigrants. Now, the ICE raids have caused people to stay at home, because of the fear that they're going to get deported.
Okay, we are back. What do you think? What are your thoughts about this video? What do you really think? Do you think that we should pity for them, or do you think that they should just face the consequences? Because these are people who are so much selfish, you know. You really know that the kind of people that work for us, the kind of people that work in our farms, they don't have documents. There maybe some of them have criminal cases, like history. You all know all these kinds of things, you know. And then this person has just come out clear, say that when you give me the presidency seat, or when you elect me as your president, America first. We are going to work on America first. All illegal migrants, we are going to deport them. All those people who are undocumented, we are going to deport them. Then you all know that kind of people who work in our farms, the kind of people that work for us, most of them are undocumented. Most of them are in this country illegally. So what were you thinking? That is being so selfish, you know. That is being so selfish. Since you have been told, oh, America first, you are going to think of that. You are thinking of yourself, but you're not thinking of the consequences. Maybe your expectations were, yeah, we have black people who will come to work for us, and no one is willing, no black is willing to come and work, you know. Because nowadays we have big doctors who are blacks, we have engineers who are blacks, we had a president who is a black, Barack Obama, yeah, we had Kamala Harris who is a black, you know. So no one, black people are so much educated, they have papers. So black people are so much educated, and they are not ready for this drama. I think they are just sitting somewhere watching you guys fight, talk, whatever you're talking about, and they are just like, oh guys, you guys are joking. You are really joking. So a lot have been going on in Texas, and we know when the farms are not producing, there won't be enough food. So don't think just of the farmers, only farmers are affected. No, think of what you have to take: breakfast, you have to take lunch, you have to take your dinner. So our kids in school, just as the lady said, they also have to eat. So don't think that this thing is only affecting the farmers for them going bankrupt. No, it is affecting all of Americans. You know, Texas is the second largest in agriculture production, so you can imagine what is going to happen. It's so sad. It's really sad. Let's hope that they are going to get, maybe they should introduce machines, you know, because I really don't know what these people were thinking. I really don't know what they were thinking, you know. Sometimes being selfish, it's so expensive. No, that is being so selfish. You want these people to be deported. Yes, you want them to be deported. Were you thinking that maybe your farmers or your workers won't be involved in the crisis? What were you thinking? So when the eyes raided the farms, it's when it has hit you like, yo, it's like we made a very big mistake. But you can say that this person didn't warn you. He warned every American. He told them, I'm going to deport all illegal migrants. Those people who are undocumented, I'm going to deport you. Those people with the criminal histories, I'm going to deport you back to your countries. So I really don't know. We should stop being selfish, focus on other things, you know. Ooh, yeah. So let's learn not to be selfish and focus on things that are so much productive for all of us, you know. So that was it. Kindly let me know what you think about this video in the comment section, and let's have a conversation. So right now I'll just tell you bye. I'll see you in our next video.